What's up, guys? It's your boy Juarmu. In today, episode 4 of my podcast, I'm joined with Boojahnijhada. I think I announced it well. So let's tune in the video, guys. Welcome back, guys. So podcast number 4 with he's known on Discord as Matory6, but in game he's called Boojahnijhada. So no, it's Boojahnijhada. Hold on, it's difficult.
It's fine. It's fine.
Doesn't matter, but yeah, he's a are you a new player or not? On what server did you start?
I did start on server 34, but I've been studying
Okay.
the game because I started first on server 32 to really test out the game. But when I tested out, I made a lot of mistakes, so I really had to start over again on 34. So that was really my story.
That's nice. I mean, 32 and 34 are still fresh, to be really honest. I'm on server 2, so
Yeah.
I'm since the launch there. So you're a pretty new player. That's really nice. So my first question, I ask it to anybody: what do you love about the game?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The first thing I really love about the game is the system around Faction Abyss, because there you can really theory craft very good teams together, and you can use your own brain to really match up characters that fits very well to each other. And it really depends on what you get from your summons about who characters you're going to mix up together in the Faction Abyss. So it's some skill ceiling to it, and something you have to think about in the game, which I think is really good, which is lessening the gap between low spenders and free to play, and compared to those who pay a lot, because you actually have to think a lot. And if you think better and understand the game better, you can progress a little bit faster in the Faction Abyss.
I agree. That's really nice. I'm doing the same right now. Like this morning, I made up the Amalek because I can regress him for free. This is my team. I'm struggling already at 18, so I'm most likely will have to switch some gear. Eternal Sect as well. I made by 7 this morning. So this is also some push. As you can see, I'm 48 points away from exclusive 1 Agatha. So this is my content right now that I'm focusing on. So yeah, I like the Abyss as well personally. The thing around the auras as well. So that's a really nice thing. What do you dislike about the game? That's the question I like to ask the most, because with this question I would love to open the eyes of the devs. Like,
yeah. Yeah, when it comes to that, I really dislike the server merging system. That's basically what I dislike the most, because it makes the game very unfair. It's in a way that the guys who can spend a lot of money now will be merged into those who spent a lot of money in December with time, which is completely unfair, because those in December have Nicholas E1 maybe from that time, and they get Pauline E0 when he got released. And when this event here is happening, they're getting the Nicholas from this trio match event, which makes it E2, and then they're getting the Nicholas from summons, which makes it E3. So guys that started playing in February will be merged into those playing in December, which are players that really has Nicholas E3 and Pauline E0, which is always going to compete at the highest in the events. So I don't really like the server merging system, because it's really unfair to all the players that's playing the game right now.
I definitely agree. So as you can see, I have an exclusive for Nicholas. I did not summon any Nicholas this event, so this is from December. What Matory is actually talking about. This is from December. Pauline as well. I got him exclusive 1 as well. So that's actually what he's talking about. Indeed, all the newer servers that are going to get merged with the servers from December will have a huge disadvantage. So that's a really thing to look at. I'm going to ask the devs on the feedback about this one, because I'm not sure if it's already happened or if they are going to make it happen, but that will be really bad. Like, I'm on server 2, so it means I'm zone 1, server 1 to 5. So I'm most likely in the safest zone, I would say, because zone 2 was 5 to 10, but it went to from 5 to 12 or even 5 to 13. I'm not sure. So I really also dislike the zone merge. So I'm really hoping they're gonna fix it, or maybe just the zone merge are fine if they are going to make it based on the power. So if they're gonna make pools with power, then everybody can compete. So that would be really
I
nice.
agree very much in that because I've been looking into solutions when I've been thinking about this server merge system or zone merge system because it's really a lot of servers that's getting merged into a lot of zones, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been making a lot of predictions because I'm server 34, and according to my predictions about how the data is in the Discord server that you can see official, server 34 is going to be merged 27th February with server 30, 31, 32, and 33.
Yeah.
And server 30 and 31 was available in December, which is a really big problem in my opinion. So my suggestion is really making the zones fair. And I've been thinking about maybe making the zones with the servers in the start, like from the September month to the start of October, making that one zone, and making the zone from the server starting at the start of October to the start of November,
Mm-hmm.
making that one zone, and making one zone from the player starting at the start of November to the end of December, and then making another zone from the people starting in the start of January to the end of February. That way, the guys in January, for example, they're going to have a big disadvantage over the guys in February with having E0 pull-in. But that's nothing compared to the guys starting in the end of January
Yeah.
and February right now, who's going to be matched up with people like you, with Nicholas E3 and
Yeah.
Pauline E0. So that would be 10 times more fair. And I think it's more fair to do it that way because the seasonal hero of Nicholas right now and Pauline is very unfair to players. So making it more fair in terms of the server merge is very important in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. I agree on that one. Also, what I know, they are merging servers based on activity. So if they see, for example, one server is having a lot of people leave, players leave, then they are merging it with other servers. So that's the plan right now. But I definitely like your suggestion. I'm actually even going to talk about it with the community managers because they have to do something about the zone merge. I heard a lot of complaining from people with this one as well. Uh,
Yeah.
so if you could change one thing about this game, for example, let's say you're a dev, if you could change one thing, what would you do besides the zone merge? We just talked about that one.
Yeah, the zone merge is of course the first thing I would change, but I really like the way they're going with the game right now with reworking the strong heroes because
Okay.
the fact that Pauline and Nicholas is so strong and mandatory to compete, uh, it's maybe been throwing a little bit high over power because making seasonal characters so they are a little stronger than the characters in game, so you have a little advantage. For example, pushing dungeons one higher but being the same power in every other aspect in the game is very great because it's a big advantage to have the seasonal hero, but not the big advantage as it is right now. So really reworking the new characters that's coming out is really great to match them a little bit lower in power compared to Nicholas and Pauline. So Nicholas Pauline is still very strong and stronger than those heroes, but it's a much closer gap between those two characters and the rest of the characters in the game. So really making a lot of new strong characters, and that's slightly below the power of Nicholas and Pauline is something I would like because those who spent a lot for getting Nicholas and Pauline, they will feel happy because their characters are still amongst the strongest in the game. But now the new characters that are being made are similar in power and a little bit in decrease in power,
Mhm.
but those seasonal heroes are still strong.
Yeah, I like how you said they are a little bit strong at the start when you start explaining. They are overpowered, bro.
Yeah,
You can be honest. I mean, they are
yeah,
just even me. I'm skipping arenas when I see those two because when I see those two
very
with
true.
Ben and Catherine, then I know it's come up to the Lucifer. It's gonna be up to the Lucifer who will win because Lucifer will decide the battle. He will decide the battle how strong he is. My Lucifer is decent. I've seen Lucifers that are a lot stronger, like 48k, 50k attack with 300 crit damage. That's really the biggest of the biggest. So on these the mirror matchups, it's all about the speed actually, and the strongest Lucifer win. I agree on
Yeah.
that one. So what's your opinion on the current Santa rerun and on the morning announcement on Discord, I think you saw it, that the person that do not have Nicholas will get him after the 10th pity.
Yeah, I really like that because in the start of February, the moderators in the game, I think it was Doris, said to us that Nicholas is coming soon and that we really should keep our summons. And 7th of February, I was making a prediction on Karsak's channel, and that was having Nicholas in the 500 event, like you saw with Sigmund, because I really saw when the event was happening that Sigmund had Christmas presents related to it, and that can be related to Santa once more. And then they released in 10x, which was not the way that the community was like to have Santa. They wanted him to get guaranteed to pay a lot of summons for him instead of just being it based on luck, because the fact that he's based on luck makes someone that have 100 summons maybe get him, and someone that spend 700 summons not get him. And that's an unfair part. So the way that they tune it in by having to pull 10 legendaries before you get Santa guaranteed is very great in my opinion, because it it's really fair to those who really saved summons from the day that the devs were talking to us and speaking that Nicholas is coming out and we should really save our summons.
Yeah, I mean, I like how you said it. You are one of the really, really few people that like the announcement. As you have seen on the Discord, it got disliked so many times. It got actually trash talked a lot in the morning on this Discord, and you are one of the few that actually liked it. So the free polling that we got in January might have been the mistake, because a lot of people was like, okay, we got a free polling, let's aim for a free Nicholas, let's bring up the fire, let's be angry and get him. Maybe that was a little bit of a bad thing. It might have backlashed, but it would have been better if they made him guaranteed pity 10 for everybody, not only for the people that didn't have him. But doesn't matter. I think it could have been much lower, to be really honest. I think it could have been easy 5 after 5 pities. So you can, because free-to-play players, let's be honest, it got announced 2 weeks ago that he will return on this date. They should have given us more time. I was suggesting them make it on the half-year anniversary. That's in 2 weeks, somewhere like 9 March, 8 March, so in the next pool. So in 2 weeks from now, exactly, in 2 weeks from this day. So people would have more time to save it. But yeah, sometimes their decisions are a little bit too fast without listening to the feedbacks from other people. But let's see. Maybe they heard from.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe they learn from mistakes. I hope so. It means it's still a fresh game. Like in 2 weeks, it's 6 months old game released. So not counting the beta, obviously. So I like your positivity, bro. Really, I appreciate it as well. So let me see. How do you think the progress in the game is? Because there are some points where you get probably stuck. You have had it on your first account most likely as well, on your second account. How do you think the progress of the game is in terms of playing?
I really think it's nice because there's a lot of strategy into it, because those heroes that are strong in the late game are mostly not the strongest in when you're pushing through common and hard and nightmare, which really have to make you think about which hero you actually level up, because you have the free regression. I think that system is really nice because you can't just go for the S tier champion, like for example Sigmund, for example. He will not be very good for common. He will not be very good for hard. He will not be very good for nightmare. But he is going to come online when you're pushing through the hell stage.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of diversity to the champions you have to go for in the early game to really keep up. And the early game is very well done in my opinion, and you get a lot of loot as well, so you can summon a lot of champions that you can build up. So I really like the progress from the start. It's really good.
Yeah, definitely. The early game rewards are amazing. You get some legendary gear as well. That's really nice. And I agree, as you said, some end game heroes are not that great early game. I like the recent change that they did, that the first 5 regress in the first 7 days of playing your account are free. So you can actually pull for a really nice legendary that's great early game, or like an epic carry, for example, a hard deck that can melt stages even hard and hell, and then just regress him
Yep.
later if you get something better. I like that change that they did recently, so that's really nice. Another question: did you spend on the game? And if you did spend, what are you most likely spending on? So for me, I'm gonna give it a small shot. I'm spending right now on the weekly card. I
Yep.
am spending on the battle order, and I'm actually buying the monthly eye from the where is it,
Ooh.
the what's it called?
That's a lot of power. Yeah, it's in the shop.
So it's in the shop. That's most likely. Let me see. It's 12, 15. It's around $50, $60 monthly. That's the maximum I'm spending right now. I used to spend much more, but in my terms, when I view the game, I want to be rewarded for the money I spent, and I just don't feel it. To be honest, the battle order is really nice. You get a lot of energy. You can get with one battle order pass, you can get top 100 or maybe top 50 in an event. For example, the Marius right now. If I would go all in on the energy, I would be top 50 Marius. But I'm saving it for the next event because I think the next event is better. The triple drop equipment doesn't matter. But that's my perspective. So let's hear about yours.
Yeah, right now I'm spending on the weekly card as you do because I think the weekly card has very great value because you get a free summon every 7 days, which is 7 summons, and you get 700 gems as well as the 300 150 gems for purchasing the weekly card. So I really think the weekly card is some of the best to invest in here, and you also get the skill scroll and a lot of energy, which makes you be able to compete in the events, which is very important in the early game, in my opinion. Um, and according to that, I'm also been spending on the battle pass. I've been doing the math, and I think it's correctly around 12,000 or energy or something if you complete the battle pass from the
Mm-hmm.
start to the finish, getting every reward, which is a lot for just $15, which is the price of battle pass. So I also feel like the battle pass is having a very great value. So that's what I've been spending on at the moment. And if you really should spend on something, I recommend to spend on that. And also the Santa event, spending around, I think it was 120 was the cost for me at least. That would be a very good event to spend on, but it's a little bit more costly. So I have the limit around the 25 to 30 every month.
Yeah, and the event is over right now, so you cannot spend. I mean, the growth
Yeah.
fund is the best investment in the game, to be really honest. If you only want to invest one time in this game, uh, this is most likely the best investment. It's really, really huge what you get from this one. So
Yeah, I really forgot to tell you because also been spending on the growth fund,
yeah, it's
and
it's a one-time
I really
spend.
like the
Yeah,
I really like it like you do because you get those diamonds. Right now I'm level 40, and at that time you get 2,800
yeah,
diamonds
yeah,
and a lot
definitely.
of other rewards as well. So yeah, I agree with you. The growth fund is also super great to spend on.
Okay, so a question. This is gonna be a nice one. I personally like this one. Is there any point in the game or in the announcement or in any event that you thought like, okay, this is not good? So for me personally, it was the Santa one back in December. That was actually when I saw the skills, when I read him, and when I heard that he's gonna be limited, I was like, ooh, this is not gonna be well.
Yeah, in terms of the events, I really think that the Santa events have been great. The things that has not been great, in my opinion, is the power level of Santa. Because if it was just a little bit better than the characters, it would have been fine. Like I was talking about earlier, he was maybe helping us with getting a better team in arena, but he was not going to make us stronger in dungeons, not going to make it stronger in other content. If the champion was made like that, I think Nicholas and the events would be very good because it's a good advantage to have Nicholas, but he's not dominating every fact and every term of the game. So I really like the Nicholas events as one of the few, but I don't like the power level of Nicholas. So the way they have brought him up is good, but the way they have made the hero, in my opinion, is not very optimal. So in terms of the events, the one I dislike right now is the hammer event. I would like to have it some kind of a labyrinth event, because it's kind of a labyrinth event now, but there's no difficulty in the event. So that would maybe be a nice change, but at least changing that event would be really good. But it's one of the things I like the most about the game. It's the event, because the ice skating event, in my opinion, is the best event
Yeah, it's
ever,
fun. It's
because
fun. It's fun.
it's so fun to play. But
Yeah.
also the trio match is really fun to play, and also the dungeon events is so fun to play, because you can plan your energy and you can spend your energy when the event is going on. Same with the equipment events, that you're getting rewards from upgrading your gear at certain times in the game, and also about the hero goal event. So it's no event I dislike. It's only the hammer event, which makes 19 out of 20 I really enjoy playing. So the events in this game is really great in my opinion.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I agree as well. I mean, that was actually the other question was if there is one event you could change. Well, you named it. You would change the hammer event. So that's actually a nice one.
Yeah.
So um, name 5 heroes that you would buff. So as you have already in the chat, there is a list of new heroes that are going to get changed pretty soon, guys. So I'm not sure if it's gonna take 1 week, or I think it's gonna take more weeks. But there are a couple of heroes gonna getting a change. I'm gonna give you a small walkthrough. It's gonna be Tuck. It's gonna be Lam, Carry, Carrot. It's gonna be Timmy here as well, and it's gonna be Hull 9000. I'm not sure if I forgot anybody, and it's gonna be the Mythic Nita. She's gonna get the next rework. So I'm looking forward. I only have Carrot from those and Tuck actually. I was planning to use my exclusive legendary eye on Tuck yesterday to make him exclusive one, but I'm holding a little bit because I don't know what they're going to change. So yeah, do you have any heroes that you would say like I would love to see them get changed?
Yeah, I got some heroes in mind here, and it's a lot of related to the Holy Light Parliament. The Holy Light Parliament, they have a lot of nice supports at the moment, but they have no great damage dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of the heroes listed, the supposed damage dealer is going to be Igor. And he's just doing way little damage compared to all the other single target damage dealers, in my opinion. I like his skill switch and I like his kit, but the numbers there is just too weak compared to the other damage dealers. So I would like to have him maybe get reworked and get a little bit stronger, so we actually have a damage dealer for Holy Light Parliament.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
And
He looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie, he looks
yeah,
amazing.
he looks so good.
Although I've seen some Olga in action with 4 supports, and she did a lot of damage. I have a guild member that used Olga with Fiona with what's her name called, Elsa. He used
Yeah.
her with Lele and Anton, and he was clearing stage 22 in less than 7 turns. I mean, this epic is also pretty nice if you read their skills, but I definitely agree. Holy Line Parliament is just full of supports and definitely need a damage dealer.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm very proud that they actually buffed Olga, because that's one of the few damage dealers in that Holy Light Parliament faction. So
Definitely.
really buffing a lot more damage dealers there would be really nice, because the supports are really great.
Definitely.
The next one is probably Gramdy. And that's another faction I don't think is really strong. The
Yeah, I have him built
Forgotten.
right now. He's just
Um,
terrible.
So the thing is that you can build someone like Quinlan, or someone that does a lot more freezes like Nizil or other champions. All those heroes are just so much stronger than Gramdy, but he can find some use in the Forgotten, in my opinion, because you really need freeze. But in all terms, Tuck is always so much better, in my opinion. So making Gramdy a little bit stronger would be really nice, because the Forgotten has a lot of potential, because they have a lot of freeze characters, which is really good in this game. And Ulcaster is also a very great mythic for the
Yeah,
late game. So I think this
definitely.
Forgotten has potential, but if Gramdy is going to be buffed and be really strong, I think the Forgotten is one of the best factions.
Definitely. The Alicia that joined recently, also top tier hero. Really, she's amazing. So yeah,
Yeah.
what would you say for your third hero? What you would change?
Um. That's more harder. But I think I have to move into Forester, because I don't think Forester faction is one of the best as well. So maybe Gru.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think
if you
Gru
look
is
at
very
this, the
great.
epics, all the epics here are basically not that great. And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna show you my abyss to just give you an idea. I cleared the abyss with exclusive 3 true Gru and exclusive 2 Tifia. So they are pretty nice
Wow.
together. He does heal a decent amount, and Tifia just need 100% crit rate, and she's gonna be pumping up during the fight. So as you can see, I do need a lot of more stars, but I just regret I came to stage 19 with those two only. So, but definitely it's lacking damage dealers as well. Like you said, like
Yeah,
the other
true.
one, it's lacking damage dealers. So
Maybe
because
someone like Serena or something that's not really strong. She's not among the best
yeah,
damage dealers
Megan,
in my opinion.
like
So
Akhtar
yeah,
told in his video, I think it was Akhtar that said like, yeah, Megan deserves some love as well. Definitely
yeah,
agree on that one.
true.
So let's do another one. That's gonna be the final one. Otherwise, it's gonna be a way too long podcast.
Yeah, that's very true. Um, let's see here. Let's see if what we find here. Um, yeah, maybe someone from Eternal Sect, and but the problem is really that they have been bringing up a lot of the champions now from Eternal Sect, but I
Yeah, that
really think the Mario unit is way too low on damage, so really bringing him a lot up would be better because right now his damage is very much lower compared to someone like Shia. Shia stats is very much higher, so you really don't find any use for Dario in the
on
Eternal
there. Yeah.
Sect because they have very great heroes like, for example, Quinlan, and you also got Mammoth, and you also got Lamb, who got reworked and probably will be really strong. And there was another hero also being reworked, but Asindo can also be used because she's really good in PvP, so a lot of players have Asindo built up.
Yeah, I'm ever too as well. I'm using Recovery Horn Aura as well in her Eternal Sec because when she uses this one, she can instantly move this one. So she heals her team. So that's also a tip for other people. You can use Recovery Horn Aura on her to give some extra support to the team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's nice changes. I would love to see, for example, on the Wizard Valentin get changed as well because he's just
true.
underwhelming. And I mean, I can name a lot of heroes that should get changed, but let's stick it to here. So, Boojahnijhada, I would like to thank you for joining this podcast. Like I always say, guys, if anybody's interested, feel free to DM me. I would love to make a huge podcast series. I love to do it. To be really honest, I really think it's fun, and I'm gonna do also multiple podcast series, so with more people in one in the future. So I hope you join there in the future as well. Maybe I'm gonna mix, for example, you with another moderator and like with some mentors. I would love to do that. So thank you very much, bro, and everybody as well. Thank you for
Thank you so
watching.
much for having me.
Yeah, you are more than welcome. Thank you for yeah bringing your time to me, and everybody. If you liked it, give it a thumb up. You always know you subscribe if you like it, and